So we're ready for the news. In our first story, governments in times past have always spent beyond the means for elections. A situation that so far, if you look at election years, has contributed significantly to yearly budget deficit. But at a cabinet retreat at Pediase, President Akufo-Addo tasked his ministers to stay within their budget and also keep the economy on track in 2020. Well, here is Information Minister addressing the media shortly after the cabinet retreat.
Those red lines that the president is clear should not be crossed in 2020, include, among other things, for example, ensuring that we don't cross the deficit threshold of 5%. Because, for example, if you take the Akufo administration in 2004, if my figures are correct, they were quite clear in the mindset that you don't need to cross the fiscal threshold just to win an election or just to make the government look good. You must not compromise on fiscal discipline. And so they kept within that framework, I think, in the 2004 general election. And the president is quite clear that if you do that, you only have to then come back from 2021 to start a cleanup process like what we've spent the first 2.5 years doing. So it's counterproductive. And it's quite clear that that red line must not be crossed. That's why we've passed a law, and he's been very clear with his ministers that he will not countenance any crossing of that threshold.
And as part of government's plans to boost the cocoa sector and production to over 1.5 million metric tons by 2027, government is seeking a parliamentary approval to inject some $600 million into the sector. Chief Executive for Cocoa Board, Joseph Bwanyedu, says the long-term facility is to finance intervention programs and related issues in the cocoa sector.
This is together with the President of Cote d'Ivoire, we were introduced to the African Development Bank to look for a facility of $600 million to stimulate the cocoa sector. Ghana is taking $600 million, Cote d'Ivoire, our counterparts, are also taking $600 million. And as I speak, the facility is before Parliament. Once it gets parliamentary approval, we'll be going to South Africa to go and engage the bank to facilitate the drawdown of the money to Ghana.
Off to the Volta region now, where residents of Ho are asking President Akufo-Addo to, as a matter of urgency, pay contractors to resume work on the Ho-Sokode dual carriage road project. Now, the residents say the deteriorating state of the road has become a hazard to their vehicles and their health, robbing them of a substantial portion of their income. Correspondent Fred Kwame Asare put in this report.
The 10.5 kilometer stretch was awarded to China Railway No. 5 Engineering Ghana Limited in mid-2016. The project, worth 99.1 million Ghana cedis, would see the construction of a dual carriage coupled with some traffic management works. 3 years down the lane, just about 20% of work had been done, after which the contractor abandoned the project due to government's inability to make available funds. The road has thus been deteriorating. It has developed several potholes while sections continue to erode off. My findings reveal not less than 5 vehicles get damaged on the stretch daily. Some motorists have been lamenting the bad state of the road.
Regional Minister, wajawagba pomogwana mile yikpi areme.
Moya yemagwabo moya trozu nane yikabe mia driver ora mile fukpe ma legbegbe. Emi fle bojo integba kaka kosira tokovo. Bojo intapete kaka. Tanyemagwabo mi kuku demne jidudua yanye o memele. Tamaji kuku demno obanu amone mi avotare jinto ikabo do mi apa etareji. Presuba moga like me more.
Side of this road has been a very it's a threat to our life, as I say. We've been using this road for years. This is one of the major roads that leads to whole capital town as a road leading to a capital town. I can tell you all the capital towns in Ghana, the former 10 that I know. This is the worst of it all that I know. This can tell you right from Asikuma Junction to here. No car owner would like to put his car on this road because potholes everywhere, and you can see things for yourself. Very bad road. We are calling on government to come to our aid because
residents indicated the road has become a health hazard.
The road is very bad. The nature of the road is not good at all. When it rains, you will see that the whole place is muddy. You don't even know where to walk. When the cars are passing, they'll be splitting dirty water on us. And even the dust on the road is giving us health hazard. For when you walk on the road small, those that are asthmatic, their asthma will come, cold, everything.
Okay, seriously, the road is very, very bad. And we, the pregnant women, we are really, really suffering. So due to that, I lost one pregnancy because of what? This road. So due to that, I find it difficult to travel to Accra. So now I'm with my mom. Because the road is no good, I can't travel.
Several promises made by government appointees to fix the road are yet to be fulfilled. With the president scheduled to start a tour of the region, residents are envisaging another promise. However, a lead campaigner of Fix Volta Roads, lawyer IDDRISU Adugu, warned against any knee-jerk actions towards fixing the road.
Well, the point about it is that the president can come, but we don't want knee-jerk actions to whatever is supposed to see on the road. The kind of road that the president is going to drive on, he himself is going to see it himself. That all that we have been saying is actually true, that nothing has been done on this road. In fact, this road has been lying like this state for a very long time. And we are receiving so many promises. This time, we want him to come with the contractors on site. We want to see action when the president hits the ground. We don't want any more promises. They have said they have the money to pay the contractors. The contractors should get on site so that we see our roads fixed. From Japan all the way to Ho, from Asikuma all the way to Jasikan, from Ho all the way to Denu. Nothing has been done. It is so appalling, and we do not deserve this kind of treatment from any government.
Fred Kwame Asari, JoyNews, Who?
Now we'll take you to the Ashanti region, and the race for the Swami parliamentary seat promises to be fierce as the NDC has unanimously endorsed party communicator Francis Dodovi as the parliamentary aspirant. Well, he will face the might of incumbent New Patriotic Party's Osei Chairman Sabunsu, who is bidding for an 8th term in Parliament. Lava FM's Kwesi Debra was there and has filed this report.
Mr. Dodovi's endorsement comes amid MPP's task of deciding whether or not the majority leader and Minister for Parliamentary Affairs should run unopposed. Both NDC and MPP have maintained their 2016 candidates in places like Asawase for next year's parliamentary poll. Mr. Dodovi said in a post-endorsement speech, government's mismanagement of the economy is to blame for the feud between Nigerian and Ghanaian traders.
Swami magazine is the biggest industrial hub in West Africa. You come here and they are not buying products from them. Their vehicles, the machines and all those things are not moving as expected to be. The economy is not booming. They'll vote against you. So you see, it is taking power and improving the lives of the lots of the people that voted for you. And they've seen it. They've seen the difference between John Dramani Mohammed's administration and what is going on now. You go there and see the place is cemetery. Nobody is buying. They are complaining. It is a very reason why they jump on these Nigerians thinking that they are dividing the market with them, sharing their profit with them. It is not that. They've been here with us since time immemorial. It is an economic situation. Difficult economic situation. People are not buying. So I think that, look, we must also find a way of driving away. I tell you, if they succeeded in driving away these Nigerians, the situation will still be the same. It has to do with economic issue. People are not buying. When John Dramani Mahama was the president, they knew the difference. That even with this Dumso issue that hung on our neck, that they made so much noise about, they knew that they were buying. People bought a lot of waste. They saved, they made good savings when Dumso was living there. But now there's no Dumso. People are not buying. You just move, you just walk about 100 meters into the store magazine and talk to them. They will tell you what I'm
For
telling you
JoyNews,
now.
Kwesi Debra.
Now, before we go, District Chief Executive of Zabzugu District Assembly in the Northern Region, AHMED BUKARI, says his outfit is stepping up efforts to address the challenges of inadequate educational and health infrastructure to positively impact on its people and also improve the academic performance of pupils in the district. Mr. BUKARI says the district is also working to improve the agriculture sector, and he spoke about this and more at a Meet the Press session in Zabzugu.
Number 3 unit classroom with staff common room and office and supply of furniture. The location of this is at Kalegu. The amount there, you can see it for yourself. But those who contributed for the construction, it's well visioned, was assembly also utilized money in providing furniture for the classroom. Construction of 2, number 3 unit classroom block A and B. The location of this project is Zabzugu Senior High School. We did that to ensure that we absorbed the expanding enrollment that hit us on our face when the free senior high school program was implemented. With that much we do, we decided that we could not wait for central government to come and give us block. But Assembly, seeing that as a priority, decided to construct 2 number 3 unit classroom block for our students to occupy. This was done from the district development facility. Completion of 1 number 3 classroom block at Benyunkumdo in order to replace the ramshackle and dilapidated structure over there that the people could not do apart from lying on their stomach to write. The teacher will not know where to stand. The location is at Benyunkumdo. The building has attained completion and the people are using the block.
And that's where we're dropping the curtain on the headlines from the news. But of course, it's only just begun on the AM show. Newspaper headlines come up right next after these.